conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that proves if a swinger from the 60s knows what consent is, you should too! I'm Dan O'Keefe, and joining me as always is Anna Otto. How are you, Anna?
Better now that you referenced that part of the movie. You know, Dan, I'm good. There was a brief moment of today where I was really scared because we were supposed to get baseball-sized hail. We did not.
Okay,
we
that's
got like
good.
pea-sized hail at most.
Okay.
So, you know, but I was a little concerned for a while. But things are better now. Things are good. I just had pizza and I'm drinking some wine. So
Wine from a can at that.
Dan,
so
don't out
I
me.
am outing you. You can't hide.
Slap the can.
You can't hide behind the fact that this is an auditory medium. You're still
Well, I'm
drinking
so sorry.
canned wine.
It's good. Okay, y'all. Go to Trader Joe's. Try the Cranberry Cosmo wine cocktail situation. It's good. So
In the hierarchy of vessels for getting wine from, is can above or below box?
I'd say on par if I'm being honest.
Okay. You're just drinking
I mean,
yuppie Franzia.
Oh, man. Love that for me. What can I say? I've never had Franzia or whatever. I'm more of a barefoot bitch, you know?
Ooh.
If I'm going to drink a wine. I actually only really drink wine on holidays. This one just looked good because it had the word cranberry. And usually when anything has the word cranberry in it, I am like, sign me up. So,
Yeah, I mean, I only really drink wine on never, or if it's forced on me.
you drink sparkling grape juice?
Yeah,
which
like
I can't even.
I would drink the fancy bottle of Welch's grape juice that they have from the grocery store. Like, if you're in high school and you're supposed to be drinking wine in a play, my teacher sent me to Jewel Osco to get a bottle of that. So yeah, I drink that, and it's way better than wine because it's actually
Yeah, it is.
Tasty.
You know the story about me and the carbonated grape juice, right?
I don't think.
Oh, okay. So I was really cool in high school, lest we forget. And unlike all those nerds that went to drinking parties, I went to New Year's parties where they served non-alcoholic grape juice, and it was a sleepover. And someone on this podcast, definitely not me, finished off 2 bottles of that by themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Woke up in the middle of the night, violently ill.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friends were like, "You good?" And I was like, totally. And went right back to sleep. Dan, you'd think that would have turned me off of that grape juice for my life because that's how I am with like Oreo balls and like sometimes lobster. But nah, that's the fickle mistress that is. This is our grape beverage reviewing podcast. But
So was it because you had so much and you hadn't like burped off enough of the gas and it was
I
just
can't
sitting in
burp.
your stomach?
yeah, I can't burp. That's like a thing. Some people can't burp.
Well, that'll be an issue if you have 2 bottles of sparkling grape juice.
It's fine. My esophagus was only mildly burned. It's fine.
Okay.
Switch a little mouthwash and you're ready to party, right?
I saw a TikTok recently of a guy who drank an extra carbonated a can of an extra carbonated something without burping, or it was
Ew,
like a 2 liter of soda
Yeah.
that he drank without burping, and he just was looking like physically ill afterwards. I'm picturing that's you.
That is me. I don't know if I ever told you that, but like sometimes if I drink too much at parties, like if I drink seltzers or soda or anything with carbonation in it, part the reason why suddenly I'll go from having a great time to being like, I need to go home is because I can't burp, and I'll like my body will do like these little burps, and it'll make me feel sick.
Oh no.
And I learned that one of the ways to make yourself stop doing that is to like, if you feel it happening, to just really all of a sudden clench your abs really hard. But the danger in that is it can also make you barf.
Oh, well, it's like a 50-50,
you know,
heads or tails.
Not to be a party pooper. I'm not trying to throw up at any parties. So
You're not trying to live then.
Let me go get my... Excuse, do you all have any mouthwash?
So the movie that we're talking about today is Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery.
I had a dream I have to tell you about, by the way.
Now?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it has to do with the movie. It has to
Okay.
do with the movie. Daniel, did you see what kind of cat there was in that movie?
The hairless Egyptian cat?
Yeah, the Sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream last night that I tried to buy him.
Okay.
Like, I called Hollywood and I was like, hey, y'all.
Before you
Is
go
that
any
cat-
further, who is like Paul Hollywood?
No, like the entire city.
Okay.
I called specifically Hollywood. And I was like, your cat? What's the cat's name again? I can't remember, but in the dream I remembered.
It's
Mr.
It's like
It starts with a B.
kissing
No.
Bigglesworth. Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth, yes. I was like, Mr. Bigglesworth, put him on the line. How much you want for him? And they were like $14. And I was like, say less. And I went to go get him. And then that part of the dream ended. But I just thought I'd share that with you. I mean, in reality, bless his heart, I
Yeah.
don't think that cat is probably with us
This
anymore.
movie is 24 years old.
Yeah,
I do
he's
think
probably
that
long deceased.
Mr. Bigglesworth is in the great hairless sanctuary in the sky.
I mean, he's pretty cute, though. Okay, that was
That's
my
an
dream. I just had
opinion.
to share. Shut up! I love cats.
I do too, but hair looks better.
No, he's handsome. I'm pulling up a picture of him to look. Oh, that makes sense. There's a hairless rabbit I follow on Instagram named Mr. Bigglesworth, and now I know why that's his name.
Oh, it's all coming together.
Oh my god.
So, released in 1997, directed by Jay Roach, written by Mike Myers, produced by Suzanne Todd, Jennifer Todd, Mike Myers, and coming out of nowhere, Demi Moore.
Okay,
Starring
girl, go off.
Mike Myers, Elizabeth Hurley, Michael York, Mimi Rogers, and a bunch of other people. Released on May 2nd, 1997, with a budget of $16.5 million. It made $67.7 million at the box office, but on home media, huge success.
Home media. Wait.
Like VHS and DVD.
Oh, okay. I had to make sure. I was like, is that a service I'm not tuned into? I had to make sure. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. This doesn't really feel like something that would draw at the box office, but this is definitely like a... Well, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't admit that this was my first time watching this ever in my whole life.
Okay.
And obviously, I feel like I missed the trend where people watched this all the time in high school. And
Oh, this was, sleepovers?
yeah,
Middle school, high school? Easy. This was what you would watch.
Not for me. We watched B movies, like bad B movies, when I was little.
Like the creation of the Cybermen or whatever?
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like we watched Soul Taker.
Yeah, that makes sense why you are who you are.
What are you saying?
I didn't say that was a positive or a negative.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. But yeah, I didn't watch this. I was busy watching quality film.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How could you missed the comedy classic so you could watch the work of Martin Sheen's brother.
I was watching Mystery Science.
Yeah. On Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 71% approval rating, saying a light and goofy comedy which provides laughs, largely due to the performances and screenwriting by Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fun. It's a fun, silly.
I had a good time.
It's also a tight 90.
Love a tight 90.
It is exactly 91 minutes.
I was able to watch this last night, and I still had time to go to bed and read, Dan.
I was able to watch this morning. Mm-hmm. I started watching it at like 9:30, and it was 11 when I finished. Are you kidding me? I had my whole day ahead of me, of which I
Good
did
energy.
nothing.
Good energy, good soup.
Right? Good soup. Mm-hmm. Glad that we have dated this podcast immediately by referencing that meme that will last maybe 6 more minutes.
Yep.
before it
It's
gets
probably
replaced by
gone out
something
of
else.
style right now.
Yeah. Oh, anytime that I catch on to a meme, it's been dead for a week.
Oh yeah, the youths are probably like sensing us using it in the ether. Like,
A chill passes over them while watching TikTok.
stop using the soup sound.
We live near a middle school and a high school. Like, there's a middle school and then a block away
my
there's a
God.
high school. So,
I'm so sorry. The hormones.
school has just gotten back in session, so kids are walking back and forth to school and stuff. And they walk
As they do.
not by our apartment, but around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They're terrifying.
Correct.
Teenagers are so scared. They have this confidence.
I know. Dan, I don't know if you know this, but when I did Shrek, it was at a children's theater, right? Mm-hmm. So some of the cast was cute little kids. Some of the cast were teenagers. I was terrified of them, and I thought none of them liked me, so I baked them cookies to win their favor. And I told them that if they wanted one, they had to tell me what their name was.
Oh my gosh. You
It worked.
aged 45 years in that action.
I think it honestly comes from the fact that my mom's a teacher. Like,
That's-
that's a very teachery thing to
That
do.
sounds like a first day of like CCD sort of thing.
I
I'm-
want everyone to know that my mouth just dropped.
Am I wrong?
No.
Teacher brings in cookies. Okay, everybody go around, say your name. You get a cookie.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, don't come near me if you're allergic to peanuts. There's no peanuts in them, but I don't want anyone in the hospital.
There's no peanuts in them, but I carry one in my pocket just in case.
To keep the children away.
Go sit at the nut table.
Oh my God, we had a nut table when I was little, and there was only one kid in our class who was allergic to nuts, and so
Oh,
they
no.
eventually had to abolish it because he was sitting by himself.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. He's fine now. He's getting married. He turned out very smart, very handsome, very successful. It's fine.
Is that what
Truly
happened when you avoid
coming of age.
nuts?
Yeah, you get handsome, smart, and successful. It's fine.
Oh no. So yeah, let's get into the movie.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So it's 1967.
Yeah, baby. Right? Did I do it?
Groovy, baby.
There, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. I can't do it. I'm doing my best, okay?
And the hottest man in England is Austin Powers. Dressed in a shag velour suit, fluffy necktie, teeth pointing every which way but straight, hair
Mine.
that's there, everything you could want.
He's only 5'7". Did you know?
Mike Myers?
Mike Myers? Yeah. He's a short king.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very obvious this whole movie.
Yeah, they don't try to hide it.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Mike
His
Myers,
wife is beautiful.
the
Anyway, sorry.
husband of Mike Myers' wife, Mike Myers,
Yep.
is Austin Powers, British spy, super spy, #1 spy in the UK. We see him dance down the streets
Mm-hmm.
of what is said to be London.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in, if I'm being honest. The opening is just... It's a lot.
He goes to a nightclub in London where he is attempted to be assassinated by the mysterious Dr. Evil. He kicks an old woman in the face because the lady is a dude. And pulls off the wig, and the actor completely changes when he does that.
It's just so much. It's just so much, Dan.
Austin almost catches Dr. Evil, but he gets away in his spaceship, which is just a big Bob's Big Boy.
Oh, God. Okay, can I say something that traumatized me?
Yes.
Have you ever seen I Am Sam?
Is that the Daniel Day-Lewis movie?
No. It's Dakota Fanning plays the daughter of Sean Penn. Sean Penn is a mentally what's the word?
Disabled?
No, that's not correct anymore.
I don't know.
Maybe I think disabled is correct. You know what? I apologize. I'm trying to be politically correct. I'm trying to be kind. I think handicapped is the one that's not allowed anymore. I think disabled or differently abled.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Cut it out, Dan. He plays a man with special needs, and they go to the big boy, and I can't remember what happens, but they do. They go to the big boy.
No, the sentence "they go to the big boy" for some reason, I'm just picturing they go up to Ethan Suplee when he was in like Boy Meets World, or like Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
It's a funny image.
Okay, well, they go to the restaurant, the big boy.
Okay.
And he starts chanting like, "Where's Bob's big boy? I want Bob's big boy," or something like that. And every time I see any sort of reference to Big Boy, I think of that movie, and I get sad because it's kind of a sad movie. Like Sam was raped by a homeless woman.
Oh,
and
no.
He has this baby, and spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Well, anyway, Dr.
Michelle Pfeiffer's
Evil.
in it too.
Dr. Evil is cryogenically frozen inside a big boy
With Mr.
rocket
Bigglesworth.
ship with Mr. Bigglesworth, who at this point has hair.
Boo.
And then Austin Powers, he volunteers to cryogenically freeze himself so that he can capture Dr. Evil in case he returns in the future. So, also at this point, Austin Powers has a girlfriend, lover, something. Her name is Mrs. Kensington.
That's just a sidekick, I think.
Sidekick, what have you.
Yeah, because she says, like, he's in love with her, but he knows that that's a line he can never cross. Because he mentions it in the movie. He's like, "Why don't you ever model for me?" And she's like, "You know, Mr. Kensington would never allow it." And he's, like, respectful of their marriage.
Yes.
I picked up on that, you know? And he has a whole monologue about it later. But anyway.
So then, 30 years later, in the modern year of 1997.
What a good year, honestly. I was 2. You weren't around yet.
I was born on the last day.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I remember it well. Princess Diana had died. I don't know what else
God,
happened
maybe
in
it wasn't such a good year.
1997.
Maybe it was a bad year.
Dr. Evil gets thawed out of the ice, and now he's bald. He's got a scar. He looks like a Spirit Halloween version of Blofeld from James Bond. Mr.
God.
Bigglesworth is hairless.
I screamed. I literally screamed in excitement. For all the fans, I love hairless cats.
Some of Dr. Evil's henchmen are still around, including number 2, who has been acting as the face of VirtueCon, the front of Dr. Evil's empire.
Sorry, I want you to know, Dan, I was just making a very shocked face because, you know, for fun, while we were talking about this movie, I was looking at pictures of hairless cats, and I just stumbled upon apparently somebody like got their Sphinx cat tattooed.
Oh,
What?
no.
That's animal abuse, friends. That is animal abuse. Don't do that shit. Okay. I just was upset, and I had to close out.
So he's developed VirtueCon into $1 billion enterprise of media, of factories that produce tiny scale models of factories.
God.
But Dr. Evil, he doesn't care about the real business. He wants the money. So he comes up with some plans. Burn a hole in the ozone layer. Already been done. The one that he does end up deciding on is stealing.
Wait.
Sorry, what was the other one? I forgot it.
Create a rumor that Princess Diana was cheated on by, who was it, Prince Charles was she with? Yeah. And they're like, ooh, that happened.
Yeah, also...
He did cheat on her.
Bit of time coincidence there.
Yeah.
Princess Diana died a week before this movie came out.
Oh, well, nobody predicted that. You know,
Nope.
nobody could have guessed.
No. So he's going to steal nuclear weapons and hold the world hostage for the grand sum of $1 million.
Yes.
Upon being told that that's not that large of an amount of money, he then decides to hold it for $100 billion.
That's quite the jump,
It
honestly. I would have just gone from 1 million to like 1 billion, but I mean, shoot for the stars. You know what I mean?
Do you know what the general difference between 1 million and $100 billion is?
A lot.
About $100 billion.
Whoa. Thanks,
man.
Dion. Whoa. I never would have
Stats.
guessed.
Stats!
I know I'm bad at math, but I'm not that bad.
Dr. Evil also learns that they used his frozen semen to create a son for him.
God.
Scott.
I'm stupid because I thought that was supposed to be Mini-Me.
Uh-huh.
May he rest in peace. But then Seth Green came out and I went, ooh, whoa. So that's where I'm at today.
What big legs you have.
Another short king,
Mm-hmm.
TBH.
Scott Evil, played by Seth Green.
I mean, I'm not one to thirst over Seth Green. I should finish that sentence. But like, he was looking really cute back then. He's only 5'4". We love a short king.
Yeah, this movie is, aside from Will Ferrell, who's in it for a little bit, this movie is really showing off all the short kings of 1997 Hollywood.
Honestly, love that energy. Let's keep it up.
So Scott is resentful of Dr. Evil, having been out of his life for 30 years and then showing up.
I mean,
They eventually do end up going to father-son therapy,
God, this movie is too much.
where their therapist is Carrie Fisher
Yes,
in an uncredited
which
role.
I deadass didn't recognize her in this role because she had different hair,
Right?
and Gage was about to dump me. I swear to you.
I was like, did they cast Nick News with Linda Ellerby as the
Oh
therapist?
God, not Nick News with Linda Ellerby. Please.
The most disappointing thing on Nickelodeon is when you would go to watch TV on a Saturday night because you were cool, and then instead of there being something good on, if they were showing a movie or something, it'd be Nick News talking about Hurricane Katrina and the effect it has on the kids. I'm 7.
Oh God, Dan, she did that from 1992 to 2015.
I know.
Jeez, Lou. I mean, what a career. What a career for Linda Ellerby.
So the British Ministry of Defense find out that Dr. Evil has returned, and their only way to stop him is to unfreeze Austin Powers. When they do so, he has no inner monologue. He's lost control of his volume, of his voice. They have to go through all of his stuff that he brought along, which includes
penis pump.
a Swedish penis pump, a book that he wrote about a Swedish penis pump,
No.
and a signed receipt for the Swedish penis pump.
I feel like I have a lot of goofy stories that are like weakly connected to this movie, but that's a bad segue when we're talking about penis pumps.
I love it.
But just hang on, okay? So my dad loves Ghost Adventures, right?
Yes.
And they did a tour of Joe Exotic's home. And I was like, Dad, wait, because Gage and I want to watch that with you. Okay. So my parents have us over for dinner one night. And my dad's like, yes, let's settle in and watch this episode of Ghost Adventures. And I was like, okay. And they're going through Joe Exotic's home, and like all his stuff is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And they open a drawer and they pull out a penis pump.
Oh.
And they're like holding it with the tongs, obviously. And excuse me. And Zach Bagans is like, oh my God. My dad is laughing his butt off. He rewound it. Which is honestly so unlike my father. But he thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever seen in his life. I just wanted to share. It was a good time. It was also a very wild time in the Otto home.
I'd be like,
That's the story.
ooh, a hidden French press.
Not a... Ew! Don't put coffee in there. Do not put coffee in there.
So they have another agent to help Austin along, Vanessa Kensington, the daughter of his 60s sidekick, Mrs. Kensington, played by Elizabeth Hurley.
Beautiful queen.
Just shockingly gorgeous.
Gage showed me a picture of her now. She literally has not aged.
She hasn't. It's crazy. No. She's 56 now.
She's beautiful, just as beautiful as she was then.
However, she did she tweeted out in 2016, "I'm voting Brexit. Vote leave. No gloating from the winners. No winging," meaning to say whining, from the losers. Vote. So, quick update on her.
I'm unsure how to respond to that.
So Austin and Vanessa, they get off on kind of a rough start because Austin is a 60s swinging sex fiend, and all he wants to do is bed Vanessa. Respectfully. I mean, at this, he's just being like a weird creep at this point. Later in the movie, when she's drunk, he's like, "I can't do that with you. You're drunk."
Mm-hmm. Truly an iconic moment.
Perfect. Absolutely. To echo what I said in the intro, if he knows what consent is, you can too.
Literally.
Not too hard.
No, it's really not.
Robin Thicke.
It's really not. Oh! Stop! Okay, I swear to you, Gage and I love The Masked Singer. But we don't agree, like, with half of the judges.
Right? I mean, so Ken Jeong, fine. Cool. Doctor, love it. Who's do they have like a guest judge all the other
Sometimes.
times? Okay.
Sometimes, yes. And they have Nicole Scherzinger.
Sure, fine.
She's just, I feel like there's not a lot going on behind her eyes, if I'm being honest with you. She's gorgeous, she's talented, but...
And then, creepy Robin Thicke.
I don't want him near me.
His whole last album, he wrote to get his ex-wife back.
Absolutely not.
Paula Poundstone, and it didn't work.
What was it called?
Paula. His wife is Paula Poundstone.
Oh my lord! If I was Paula, I'd be rev up those restraining orders.
And then, who was the other host?
Jenny McCarthy, renowned anti-vaxxer.
Boo!
I'm gonna be honest though. Every time I go to Wahlburgers, I do get Jenny's chicken sandwich.
Never been to Wahlburgers.
It's really good. I really like it.
Believe it.
I have a bottle of wall sauce in my fridge that my mom gave me for my birthday. It's delicious.
One of the people that we worked with at the radio station adores the Wahlbergs.
Yeah.
And like drove to Chicago for the opening of one of the Wahlburgers restaurants.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process whenever I hear it.
Paul Wahlberg was at Wahlburgers in Brookfield a while back, and which is close to Milwaukee for anyone who's listening and doesn't know. And he was like frying up burgers and stuff, and she went obviously and like ate a burger fresh from his fryer. Just kidding.
That sounds like a weird euphemism
for eating a literal burger.
Yeah,
it's not a euphemism; it's the truth.
Austin Powers and Vanessa Kensington pose as a married couple in Las Vegas, where they go to the blackjack table and play a hand of blackjack with number 2, who is cheating.
And wait, what is the name that Austin takes on? Dan, I thought you would appreciate this.
I'm trying to remember right now.
It's Richie Cunningham.
It is. I made a note of it while watching, and I was like, that's Happy Days.
Yeah. I thought of you.
How does he know about Happy Days?
I'm looking up when it aired. Right now.
Remember, he was frozen in 1967.
He wouldn't know because January 15th, 1974 is the day that Happy Days. I am screeching.
The logic of this film immediately dissolved.
Honestly. And yeah, he would have been frozen the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Get Mike on the phone. Get Mike Myers on the phone. Oh my God. Here's Joni loves Chachi, which Gage says all the time. I'll be like,
He just
I
says
love
that?
burger. Yeah, I'll be like, I love burgers. And he'll be like, Joni loves Chachi. And I'm like,
Is
for
he
what?
my dad?
He might be.
So they also meet number 2's Italian secretary, a lot of vagina.
I needed to lie down with my feet elevated after that line. I swear to God. I mean, pussy galore.
Right?
Yeah. Again, I Gage had to explain a lot of the James Bond references to me because he's a huge James Bond nerd and I am not, unfortunately. So he was like, right, it's like pussy galore. And it's like, yes. Nailed it. Got it right here in my brain. Locked in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's, pussy galore. The movie's called Octopussy.
Yes, once he said pussy galore, I knew it was Octopussy. Which, how did they get away with that in a serious film? But
it was the 70s.
70s were out of control.
Right? Crazy times. Mm-hmm. Richard Nixon, baby. Octopussy.
Absolutely not.
So, Austin gets into Vagina's penthouse suite.
Yeah, he gets into vagina.
He does. And sits in the hot tub, the dream hot tub in the middle of the hotel room.
Honestly, it looks amazing.
It does. It's like the wood barrel kind of thing.
God,
I love it.
It looks so soothing. I'd love to go,
Anna and I are trying to go to Vegas sometime in a couple months, just because we want to eat at Giada's restaurant.
Okay.
So we went for my mom's 55th birthday. We went to Vegas, and Anna came with.
Where'd you stay?
We stayed at the Venetian, which was
so
nice. And we ate at Giada's restaurant with my whole family there. And they have this tasting menu that is delicious. And you go through 9 courses. It was so good.
God, I want to go back to Vegas.
So we want to go. And now that we live a 4-hour drive away, we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a weekend. And we're looking at prices. We're like, why does it cost money? If we go on a Monday, it's $30 a night. If we go on a Thursday, it's $130 a night. If we go on a Saturday, it's $300 a night.
Well, I heard that people from LA always drive into Vegas on the weekends. That's what they said.
It's a weekend. It's like Milwaukee to Minneapolis.
Chicago or Minneapolis, yeah. I'm just going to say, if you go, don't touch any phones in the bathrooms. My mom did when we went, and she got the stomach flu.
Oh. Did she lick it?
No, but she went... Her story is she went to change the toilet paper and accidentally knocked the bathroom phone off the hook and put it back. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't know what would have happened. I washed my hands in between us. Like, those germs are too strong. Those are Vegas germs.
I have a couple of holes to poke in this. What hotel were you? Were you staying at an actual hotel?
I was staying at Mandalay Bay.
Okay. Do they not have housekeeping there?
They do, but my parents are known do not disturbers who only get their sheets turned every other night.
I was like, why would she need to change the toilet paper?
Mayor and Jer say reduce, reuse, recycle.
Good for them. Mm-hmm. Second hole I'm poking in that story, she definitely picked it up.
I know she did. Disgusting. She probably used it.
My grandma told me a story when my dad was in college. His fraternity it was like the end of the year thing, and they all were at a hotel somewhere. I think they were in Atlantic City. No, wait, they wouldn't be in Atlantic City. He went to college in Indiana. In Indianapolis.
Could just be Indy? Yeah.
And they were staying at this hotel, and she got a call from him one night, and he was drunk. And he was like, Mom, there's a phone in the bathroom.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
That's what he was calling from.
No.
It was the 80s.
And he lived?
And he lived. He's alive now. I saw him this weekend.
A flesh-eating virus from that.
Yeah, flesh-eating virus from the 80s hotel bathroom telephone.
Trust no one. There's probably loads of cocaine on that phone.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So anyway, Austin discovers Dr. Evil's plan to drill a nuclear warhead into the Earth's core and trigger volcanic eruptions worldwide. And then Vagina learns Austin's real identity. And then Dr. Evil sends the...
Well, because she's giving him a sensual bath.
Yeah.
And she sneaks and grabs his card because he's easily fooled by her feminine wiles.
And then Dr. Evil sends the fembots to take Austin, which are just very attractive blonde women with
I'm kind of obsessed with them. They're kind of badass.
with machine gun boobs.
Machine gun boobs, like Machine Gun Kelly.
The dream.
Honestly, an improvement.
So they create the fembots. They don't send them on Austin yet, because Austin and Vanessa have to infiltrate the VirtueCon headquarters, where in their infiltration they very slowly run over one henchman with a gravel paver, who has plenty of time to escape. Stands there screaming.
Mood.
That henchman is played by an actor named Michael McDonald. Not Michael McDonald.
Yeah, that's definitely what I thought, honestly.
No.
King of Yacht Rock, Michael McDonald.
Right? No, he was in Mad TV for 10 seasons, and he was on Scrubs
Honestly,
a bunch, which is why
if I'm not
going
to be vibing on a yacht with him, I'm not interested. You know?
Fair. He was also the voice of Gandhi in Clone High.
There's a lot to unpack there. Gandhi, like the man?
The animated Clone High clone of Gandhi.
And this is a white person voicing him?
This is Michael McDonald, yes. It was a different time. Wasn't right.
Yes, it was not right.
That was nearly 20 years. 2003 was nearly 20 years ago.
How dare you? How dare you?
I still think that
Dan.
2009 was last year. Those kids are in middle school. Kids born in 2009.
Gage called me. No. Gage called me out on the fact that I will be like, oh, like 2 years ago when I was a freshman in college, and he'll be like, what? 2 years ago when you what? I'll be like, when I was a freshman in college. 2 years ago. Obviously.
Next year, there will be kids going into high school who weren't alive when Obama was elected. Let the silence sink in.
Kids today will never know what it was like to be to vote Republican in your school election because you thought Michelle Obama was going to take away junk food.
Oh, anyway. They get apprehended by Dr. Evil's henchman Random Task.
I cannot. We blew right past the scene where, what's his name? Patty O'Brien or something like that?
When he's in the toilet and Patty O'Brien is trying to capture him.
Okay, I love a good poop joke, you know? That scene had me absolutely rolling on the floor, Dan.
I knew you would.
The rafflecopter had taken off, as the kids said once upon a time. Oh my god.
So
maybe it's just the wine, the cheap wine talking, but that was pretty fucking funny.
The actor who played the cowboy in that scene, Tom Arnold, uncredited.
Yes, I don't know who that is, but Gage made a big deal out of it.
He was in Roseanne. He was married to Roseanne for 4 years.
No.
Yeah.
What? What about? What about John Goodman?
Not, like he was in real life married to Roseanne.
Oh my God.
You got so worried.
I was like, you are incorrect. That is not correct. Like, I thought you were trying to say that John Goodman replaced somebody else on that show, and I was gonna say he has no second banana. Okay.
No, John Goodman is more than just the first banana. John Goodman is the bushel.
Banana split. He's the banana split, my dude. The banana bread. He's everything.
Ooh.
He's all the best parts of the banana.
So the United Nations, they accede to Dr. Evil's demands, but because, as his name, Dr. Evil says, he goes through with it anyway. He doesn't care about the fate of the world. He just wants the money.
I mean, go off, King, you know?
And then Austin and Vanessa are having dinner, or at the dinner table with Dr. Evil, when Scott walks in and asks why he doesn't just kill them already. I have a gun. I can just go shoot them right now.
When I tell you my anxiety was through the roof, and honestly, good on Dr. Evil for telling him guns aren't never the answer, truly.
Instead, he
go
sends
off, Father
them,
of the Year.
He sends them to go get killed by sharks with lasers on their heads. However, since sharks were placed on the endangered species list, all they could get were sea bass.
So scary. I mean, one time I was taking a sea bass off of a hook, and they have some sharp teeth, okay? It was actually not a sea bass. It was a largemouth bass. But if I remember correctly, it's a bass. I think they still have sharp teeth. Largemouth bass teeth. Google. Okay, I lied. Their teeth are not that big, and it says they feel like sand. You know what? It hurt my little 7-year-old fingers, okay? I'll tell you that much. I was scared.
I've never been fishing. And I don't really have any draw to go fishing.
Can't relate.
I have this memory of like being a child and fishing with my grandpa, but there's no way that actually happened.
Maybe you manifested it. Maybe it was a dream.
Right? I don't know. I guess I need to ask my parents if that ever happened.
Was it me? Did you go fishing with me?
Well, it was with my grandpa, who he's still alive, so I could ask him.
Yeah, why don't you just shoot him a text then?
He never answers my
he
texts.
not text?
No, he does. He just never responds.
Fair.
And in the dream, what I remember is like the sky was very purple. It was like a very pretty day, and he got mad at me for talking. If
Well,
this
you're
was
not
a
supposed to
dream
talk
or
when
real
you
life.
fish.
I know.
When you fish, you're supposed to at most do a king of the hill. Yup. Mm-hmm. Sip your beer. Cast your line. Only time you talk is if you need a net or if you need somebody to help you pull a fish in. I could teach you, Dan.
Yeah, but I was like, if this happened, I was like 6. You think I knew that?
Well, true. I did talk a lot when I used to go fishing when I was little.
Vanessa and Austin, they escape the sea bass with lasers on their heads.
Truly terrifying.
Yeah, and while searching for Dr. Evil, Austin gets stopped by a group of fembots who start to seduce him.
Freaking fembots.
They almost get him done, but then he snaps out of it and starts doing a striptease towards them, which turns them on. It makes them so randy, so horny, baby, that they self-destruct. Hey.
I just have nothing to add.
I know.
I truly don't.
Look, if I saw that shag carpet on the beach, I'd self-destruct too.
Disgusting.
Speaking of which, when I was maybe in middle school, I went to my doctor for my yearly checkup.
As one does.
And he said, "Wow, you are the hairiest 12-year-old I've ever seen."
Ew! Also, that's a horrible way to destroy someone's confidence.
No, I was like, cool.
Oh, okay. I often got asked if I was eating.
Different.
Yeah, I just, I was an underweight child.
Yeah.
I finally have filled out my body as an adult, but, it'd be like that sometimes. We all
Yeah.
have our battles.
Your battle with being an underweight child. My battle
My
with
battle
being
was
an
looking
ape
like
boy.
Skeletor.
Oh my gosh. You looked like Skeletor. I looked like King Kong. It was perfect.
Hey, man. Love that for us.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Um,
Hey, man.
So, the British forces, they raid the underground lair. And Austin Powers, he deactivates the Doomsday device. He has Dr. Evil in his
the nick
clutches.
of time.
In the nick of time. He has him in his clutches, but then a lot of vagina shows up.
Every time you say that, I want to scream.
and she is holding Kensington hostage. Kensington is being held hostage by the vagina.
Honestly, that happens to me like once a month, so... That was a period joke.
I know. I got it. I was
From,
trying to just
period
roll on
hammers out
through.
there. Not allowed. We're going to stop here and talk
Okay.
about it.
Let's not.
Yee!
Your period joke is interrupted by number 2. Like in the movie. Thank you.
Freaking jokes in this movie are such lowbrow, low-hanging fruit, and I'm picking it. You know what I mean?
Number 2 tries to betray Dr. Evil because, he spent 30 years making this a real company. A reliable... They're a big worldwide company, kind of like, Mercedes-Benz or...
Tesla.
Or Bayer or any other German company that's been around since before the 40s. Or the Fanta brand of soda.
Wait, was Volkswagen, right? Yeah, they were around before the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Rough time.
But Dr. Evil presses the trapdoor button to eliminate number 2. Because he has trapdoors for everyone.
God.
And then he activates the base's self-destruct. He escapes. Austin and Kensington, they escape as the nuclear explosion destroys the lair. All is well in the world because now it's time for their honeymoon.
And it's cute.
Very cute. Both naked, both blocked by a bunch of fruit and other various forms of
Honestly,
food.
love the choreography.
They have a call with who is functionally their Q, telling who is Basil Exposition is his actual name, who is providing exposition on it's like the freeze frame credits of Johnny went off to college and became a star football player for Harvard. He died in the Vietnam War.
Dan!
What? I'm sorry.
That was so dark for no reason. Jesus!
They get attacked by Random Task, who gets subdued.
With a shoe.
Yeah, with a shoe.
He throws shoes.
Which knocks heads off of statues. But they subdue him.
Just minorly hurts Austin.
They subdue him with the penis pump, which Austin is still claiming to not be his. And then the newlyweds adjourn to their balcony, and they look at the stars, and they see the cryogenic chamber of Dr. Evil floating in space, and they say they will have their revenge. And then it's time for the credits, baby, and it's just a fun song dancing time.
I loved it. We were jamming. There was dancing, there was singing, there was vibing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the credits are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just a song. There's a song in, I think it's the next one that they do during the credits that I sometimes just get stuck in my head randomly, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of a bop.
Can't wait, honestly.
It's kind of it has the vibe of like a late 60s, early 70s Stones song. Very fun.
Okay, my ears are ready.
Ooh, weird. Anyway, that's Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Woo!
What did you think, having now seen it for the very first time?
I really liked it. I really liked it. It was so stupid, Dan, and you know I love a good stupid movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get the hype And when I say the hype, I mean why college kids and high schoolers are so obsessed with it.
Yeah, because it's just so stupid.
Yeah, and it's just a fun time. Like that's all it's good for, is for having fun. And I mean, who doesn't want to have a good time? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was a very bland answer, but it's a cute, stupid little movie. There's literally not much else to it besides the fact that like it's just a stupid, fun character for having a good time.
Yeah.
That's not even like, sometimes modern day stupid movies have such a satirical undertone. This one doesn't. It's just a fun, stupid spoof.
Yeah, there is nothing serious about this movie.
Honestly, I needed that.
Yeah,
I needed
in the vein of like Airplane, of how it's
God.
a parody of something specific, but it's not. But it's actually good because there's still like it's not those stupid like epic movie, disaster movie sort of
Yeah,
things.
there's actually a plot. It's
Yeah.
not like just a spoof.
Yeah.
There's a story, and it's actually not a bad story. It's a fun little story.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have worked if they tried to be serious with it, because this is so stupid, which is why it works. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of vagina. Hilarious. Fun to say,
Never not
even
fun.
now. Go
It
ahead,
just
Anna.
sounds like you're choking. A lot of vagina.
See?
It makes me laugh. Like the whole
Right?
night last night, I was laughing over that. I swear to you, I was.
And Mike Myers, he's really good in it, as both Dr. Evil and Austin Powers. Like, I believed they were separate characters.
Oh yeah.
I knew they were both played by him.
I mean, say what you want, but Mike Myers is incredibly talented. I mean,
Yes, I love him on The Gong Show.
I was gonna mention Shrek, but this is fine. I was just gonna say, like, he has a lot of comedians. I feel like have like one character that they're really well known for, whereas he has multiple, and I think that's
they're
really
all-
a testament to his. So different.
Yeah, they're all the difference between them, the range. Everybody talks about actors' range.
Oh,
Nobody talks about Mike Myers' range.
nope, he's underrated. Thank you. Full stop. Underrated.
So some trivia about the film.
Let's
There's
hear
a
it.
bunch. This had the lowest testing score that New Line Cinema ever had in test screenings.
Really?
Yeah.
I would dare to say that this is a comedy classic. So that's surprising to me. What would you say?
I think it is.
I mean, I think it's not like a timeless comedy classic yet because it's not old enough, but I think it's on its way. I mean,
It's
I think
25
everybody
years
knows-
old, basically.
yeah, everybody knows who Austin Powers is. Like, I'd never seen the movie, and I still knew who he was, what his thing was, like quotes from the movie.
I think I think the real test is if the next generation knows it, because then it will become, I think, a classic. Because like, I think Mean Girls is also on its way to doing that. Of like the the plot and everything is carrying through the ages. You know, Mean Girls, the 17-year-old movie.
How dare you? Well, that also, it helps that it has a whole musical too
Yeah.
that the kids are obsessed with.
Yes. I am one of the kids.
There's some songs I vibe with. It's just I like Mean Girls. I don't love it as much as some people do. I will agree with you that it is a wonderful film.
Mm-hmm.
Just not my I think it's because my mom didn't let me see it until I was older. And when I was in 8th grade, there were some girls that got in trouble for referring to themselves as the Regina George and Gretchen Wieners and Karen of our class. And I like literally had to sit through that whole meeting and was like, what is going on? And they were using the word slut. And I was like, what is going on? And another little tidbit into things that formed me, you know?
I will pause on the Mean Girls conversation for now. We'll probably watch the movie at some point, then we can talk about this further.
Love that. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Episode 99, we do Mean Girls, and then we do Joker, spiritual cousins.
Yes.
So the
Same
Austin
thing.
Powers character, Mike Myers got the idea for it when he was driving, and he heard a Burt Bacharach song on the radio. And he
Isn't
was
that the
like-
guy who sings Whatchamajigger? What the world needs
Yeah,
now?
in the movie,
Yeah.
he's in it.
Yeah.
And he was like, what happened to all those 60s swingers? And that's where he came up with it.
Oh my god. I mean, inspiration can come from anywhere, right?
And we got more. Joe Sun, the actor who plays Random Task, is serving a lifetime prison sentence for the torture of a 19-year-old woman in 1990. He went uncaptured until 2008 when DNA matched him to the crime. According to the victim,
He was in a whole ass movie.
according to the victim, she unknowingly had a copy of the movie in her home.
Wait, Dan. You cut out. You have to say it again.
She had a copy of the movie in her home,
Oh
not knowing who her attacker's identity was.
Oh my freaking god! I want that in a podcast. I want to
Right?
hear every single word of it. I want to
That
see
sounds
the documentary.
So interesting. Terrifying, but
Fascinating.
so interesting.
Oh god, yes. Oh
and
my
then-
god, that's fucking insane.
In 2017, Joe Sun was sentenced to an additional 27 years in prison for murdering his cellmate.
I cannot. I have to make words because I need people to understand how shocked I am.
Right?
If this was a visual medium, you would see that I literally just mouth agape. That's terrifying. This man
Right?
was working. He was out making movies, going to premieres, working and being successful with other people. That's horrifying. Horrifying. Oh my god. Fuck no. But also, I want to see a documentary about his life, his crimes.
I know. It'd be interesting.
But also, ooh.
Mike Myers wanted Jim Carrey to play Dr. Evil, but Jim Carrey was busy with Liar Liar. So he had to turn it down. The AOL version on Austin's computer is 3.0, and Jay Roach, the director, said he did it so that he could get a free year of service from AOL.
Honestly, smart. Good energy.
Right? And the theme song for the movie is called Soul Bossa Nova. They're like da 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 da.
Would they get it from a royalty-free website?
They got it. It's a Quincy Jones song.
Oh,
It's an actual song.
Oh, okay.
Quincy Jones also apparently knows who killed JFK, but won't tell anyone.
What is going on with the people involved with this movie? Why do I want to talk to all of them?
Right? I want to have a podcast series of conversations with the cast of Austin Powers.
Mike Myers would be annoyed with me immediately because all I'd want to talk about is Shrek. Full stop.
Fair. And then the last piece of trivia is that Seth Green confirmed that the movie had a lower budget, so they were allowed to screw around and improvise a lot of the movie. So, like, Dr. Evil's shushing of Scott, made up on the spot.
I love that, honestly.
Yeah,
That seems like it would be so much more fun.
the
I would probably get in trouble for fucking around too much, though.
like 9 one-liners that Austin says when the guard is killed by the mutant sea bass. Mike Myers had forgotten his lines.
Love that.
Yeah. And then Mindy Sterling, who played Frau Farbissina, she
You mean the
improvised.
principal on iCarly,
Yes.
or one of the teachers? Yeah.
She improvised the Lucky Charms commercial bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But that's all the trivia that I have about it.
Oh,
Anyway, tune into our spin-off podcast, The Joe Sun Story, because good lord, there's so much to unpack with that.
Dan, I would love nothing more than to do a deep dive into this man's story, you know?
He was a UFC fighter.
The documentary writes itself, you know what I mean?
It's writing itself.
It is. It truly is.
Anyway, question for you. Would this
Answer for
movie
you.
be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as Scott Evil?
You know, he was a heartthrob of the 90s. I think he could do it. He's not a comedian, but I think they could give it a shot.
He's not a comedian, but he was in Home Improvement for 10 years. That's comedy. He knows how to act in
Exactly.
comedy.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I think he could do it. I really think he could do it.
But
I don't know that I think it'd be better or worse. I think
Okay.
it would be the same.
okay. I think it would I don't think it would be the same. I think Seth Green just has an air about him of disillusioned Gen X teenager that
He really does.
I think that Jonathan Taylor Thomas comes off as too like educated isn't the right word, but bright isn't the right word either.
He's kind of a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has hope in his eyes.
And he's handsome.
Seth
Anyway.
Green is an inspiration for all pale people everywhere.
Pale short people. Hello.
Would it be better, worse, or the same with Jimmy Stewart as, I don't know, number 2? A young, long Jimmy Stewart as number 2? That'd be pretty fun.
Oh, God.
I don't know any of his lines, so I can't do the impression, the bad impression.
Just do the squawk. Oh.
What?
That's the one.
He's in prison. He killed his cellmate. That's the Joe Sun documentary podcast is done in the voice of Jimmy Stewart the entire time.
No,
without
that's
it
the
being
voiceover?
mentioned. That's the voiceover.
Oh, Jesus.
We go now to Waco State Prison.
Honestly, I'd watch it.
Somehow David Koresh is still alive too. Look, I'm running on fumes right now, okay?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just judging you. Don't worry.
Let's wrap up then. On a scale
right.
of 1 to 5 mutant sea bass with lasers on their head. Frickin' lasers on their head. What do you give this?
I give it a 4.5. I
Wow.
thought it was really good. I really liked it. As far as comedy movies go, I really, really, really liked it. And like I said, I can see why other people like it so much. It's a good time. It's stupid, but it also like has a story that is followable, and like the comedy doesn't take away too much from the story. There's nothing I hate more than when something is trying so hard to be funny that I don't understand the story. I don't understand how it pertains to the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the story was good. Not great. I mean, it's not a masterpiece by any means, but it's a good spoof. It's fun. It's stupid. I really enjoyed myself. I was laughing. It's everything I could ask for from a dumb, spoofy movie. How about you, Dan?
I'm going to give it a 3.5. It's fun.
Okay.
How the fart jokes bump things up for you, it knocks things down for me. That's the
No, Dan!
that's my comedy pet peeve. I just don't think they're funny. I think that scene ended up being funny because of how long it went.
They forced you into laughing.
It wasn't laughing, it was more like they forced me into acknowledging. But It's still fun. It's fun. I like it. It's a fun
The
movie.
joy was
Fun time.
forced.
Yeah. You forced the joy. So, we will be back next week talking about the sequel to this Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yes.
So get excited for that.
I am. I'm trembling with excitement.
Ooh, trembling. If you want to follow us on social media and make us tremble, you can do so on Facebook and Twitter at And In Conclusion, on Instagram at In Conclusion Podcast. If you want to give us some of that sweet, sweet $1 million dough, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/inconclusion. If you want to find me, I am on Twitter at DanO'Keefe86, and I am on TikTok at NotDanO'Keefe. Anna, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter at AutobotsRollOut, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll and the O in Out are zeros. And I have tweeted 3 times in the last week. So you could say things are getting pretty fiery over on my Twitter.
Normally when I tweet a lot, it's a sign of my decaying mental state. So do I need to be worried?
Not any more than usual.
Okay. We will be back next week talking about Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, have fun, and get vaccinated. Bye-bye.
Bye! That's enough for now.